Man, I don't like. I'm gonna tell you straight up, man. Like I've had the weirdest two days in league like that I've ever had. It's been super weird. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, like I had like the ADC games that I had. Man, my support just like I was jinxed. My support just kind of like up and abandoned me, and like kept up and abandoning me at like the worst times. Um,
Yeah.
and so and I mean I don't think Jinx can 1v2 very well. And plus me being new just to the ADC and her, I can't 1v2. Um, and today today's been the day of like really really sucky teammates in dual ADCs everywhere. Like every team that I've been up against today has had 280 carries.
It's because you're playing normals.
It's been insane. I don't
If you
even
play ranked, you'll get less of that more often. Um,
right on.
Ranked is
Yeah,
obviously going to be less trolly because people are trying harder to win.
yeah. I just switched from top to ADC um like a week ago, so I kind of wanted to get some lessons in, get some kind of get some games in
Yeah,
before I started doing ranked.
which is all good. I'm just letting you know. Obviously, it will be less trollier in ranked.
Right.
1 second. I need to make sure my lip sync isn't off because I'm going to be streaming this.
Okay. Before I started doing ranked. Yeah, I watched all your videos, man. They helped out a lot.
1 second. Quiet. I need to. I'm sorry. Quiet. I need to.
Right.
1 second. I need to make sure my lip sync isn't off. Okay, it's good. I just couldn't. Okay. Continue.
Um yeah, I know I watched your wave control video and your laning phase video and they were really good.
Cool, cool. Thanks. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started here. You started, obviously Doran's Blade Pot. There's only 180 carry that doesn't start Doran's Blade Pot, and it's Urgot. He starts Longsword 3 pot.
Cuz he rushes the man immune.
Yeah. So, before we get into this game, I completely forgot about this. One thing I like to do, just in a general sense, is determine win conditions. And what that is just looking at the enemy team and your team and seeing what you're good at, seeing what you're bad at, and seeing what you need to do to win, right?
Mhm.
So, if we look at the enemy team, they obviously have Jungle Lee Sin, who is pretty strong in the early game. He's less so this season. Like, he's not as strong as he could be. You really have to play Lee Sin perfectly to like make him useful. But he's still an early game ganker. He falls off late game, so there's that. So you kind of already get the general curve of their team comp. Power spike wise, like Lee Sin already makes their late game a little bit weaker. Janna is a very good champion, especially since you look at they have 280 carries and a poke champion. So these four, excluding Lee Sin, are very good in itself in kiting. So their team comp's really just based around you guys not being able to get onto those three champions. Um, that's pretty much their team comp. They're really good at sieging and they're really good at kiting. They're not good at starting fights. They cannot start a fight like at all. They'll have an extreme amount of trouble forcing fights. Like unless if let's say they had like a Malphite jungle or something or a better top lane, they would be able to force fights a lot easier. So really their team is one dimensional in that it's kite. It's just kite and poke.
Right.
Now we go over to your team, and you guys have Warwick, Braum, Sivir, Jace, Lux. Two champions who are very poke heavy. That's good. And then three champions that are very strong in like skirmishes and focus fights. So what you guys need to be looking at is the mid game group and like focusing dragons and then sieging, or not necessarily sieging because your guys' siege is iffy because of your auto attack ranges between you and Jace. What your guys' team comp is really good at is getting around dragon or getting in their jungle, and the moment you see somebody, You hit alt, and then Warwick ults them, and you pick someone off, then you go take an objective off of that kill.
Right.
Because, like, how you play Sivir is you just, like, alt, and then you've done your job. Like, as soon as you see an enemy, if your team is grouped and you have, like, targeted CCs, such as Warwick, all you have to do is ping and alt and just run at that person. And then Warwick will more than likely alt the person, and you'll more than likely get a kill.
Right on.
That's why Sivir is so strong right now, because she just enables her team to do stuff. Alright, so you guys are going for the invade.
Yeah, I don't know. And we could have had a kill on Xerath. We all ignored the Braum passive. It's kind of my fault.
Meh. You got a heal out of Graves, which is kind of... Wait.
He was a no... Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll tell you what to do during a 2v1. But it's more than likely will never be useful again. Because you will more than likely never see a 2v1. 1 second.
Chase just face checks.
What is up, Oliko? Is it Dudeco? Oliko. Why does it say Oliko? What's up? Yeah, he face checks. Ein Moment. Alright, so during a 2v1, let's go ahead and go back here. So you guys go for the leash. It's Xerath bot lane. Xerath's, I guess, alright in a, he's alright in a 2v1. He can farm from pretty far range, but how you want to play it is as soon as Xerath starts auto-attacking here, he's now pushed the wave towards you guys, and you have two options in a 2v1. You can either push hard and try to take an early turret, which is alright, or you can zone. I think I would have chosen the latter to zone, because honestly, Xerath without gold is like fucking useless, and their team comp's designed around poking and kiting.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I would have just last hit, and then started zoning. You kind of since you didn't last hit here, you started pushing towards Xerath. Alright, in a 2v1, you need to be forcing. Like, you shouldn't be letting him just getting free XP. You should be, like, walking up and just, like, fucking with him.
Okay.
Because he should not hit level 2 until, like, 4 minutes into the game. Especially if you just last hit here. Because it's going to push towards you if you just last hit here. Because if you hadn't been autoing, they would still have 3 creeps up, and eventually that would die. So he's going to hit level 2 and 2 creeps, which is not... Okay, so what you're doing here is exactly what you're supposed to do. On Sivir, you're supposed to start W for laning phase. Since it's just so you can push... Because bot lanes usually erase the level 2, like I said in that video. It's just so you can push the level 1 wave quicker. And it also is a... it's also an auto-attack reset. You know what that is?
Basically, like, I auto-attack and I hit W, then I can auto-attack right afterwards.
Yes. It's an auto-attack reset, so for level 1 trading, it's super helpful, and it also increases your attack speed, too, whenever you use W by, like, what is it, 40% level 1? Did they change it to where it doesn't give her... Next 3 server deals.
I don't know,
Maybe okay, they switched it. Okay, okay, her alt has it. Never mind. So they switched her W passive over to her alt. That's, wow, I need to read spells more often. Because that used to be on her W. Anyways, it's still an auto-attack reset, so it's pretty good. So since the wave has happened to push towards him, at this point you want the wave to reset, and you don't want him to get like free last hits. So you just want to push the wave hard into his turret because it's extremely difficult for an Xerath to last hit under turret without blowing a lot of his mana. So I just use my WQ to push the wave in. You could also be playing more harassive here too in a 1v2. Like in a 1v2, you should never be afraid to walk up. You're not going to lose in a 1v2.
Right.
Alright, so now that the wave has hit his tower, it means the wave is gonna reset. Like, you watch the wave control videos, so you understand that.
Right, so it's gonna push back into me.
Yeah.
Now.
As long as you last hit only and don't like auto attack. So in this this mindset, you need to be looking at not only your lane but like this lane up here and seeing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because if they decide that they want to like hard push and take the turret, they kind of get free gold, as opposed to if you're just zoning. Your zoning isn't bad either, because again, like I said, Xerath is like really bad early game, but you just need to pay attention to what they're doing too, because they could take the turret and then swap lanes. It would kind of screw them though, because if you're zoning here, because they would come down and then you could ask Warwick. But it's just more of a just to keep yourself thinking. Like you'll always do better if you just keep yourself thinking instead of just being tunneled down here.
Right.
That will help your game sense too, of like feeling when a gank is coming to, because a lot of times, honestly, you can tell when a gank is coming, not just from like them showing, but your in-game clock going, it's about time that they're gonna gank bottom probably. Alright, so since you're not last hitting, you just push under tower, which isn't bad either against a champion such as Xerath, who uses a lot of mana. So like you can deny him a lot of CS just from the fact of pushing. But
I think I was trying to mirror what Top was doing. Like I noticed like they were like just constantly under turret, so I was like, well, you know, because I think my goal at this point, like I think my mindset was like, okay, I need to like make something happen in this lane so that like we can switch, so that like I can get Jace.
Well, you don't want to switch because you don't want to switch for the fact that you guys have dragon control right now. Like all you have to do is ask Warwick whenever he gets time, just for you guys just to come down and do dragon, because then it's a 4v2 at best for them. It's a 4v3, but you guys have all the dragon control. And that's why if you watch professional games, that's why when they do lane swap, usually the team that has the two people down here always get dragon first, for the fact that they're just outnumbering the enemy team.
Yeah, my brain didn't even. I wasn't even thinking that or going there. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's why AD carry and support are bot lane, because dragon's down there. Like if dragon wasn't down there, I don't even know what the meta would be. But they send them bot lane because they need numbers towards dragon. Obviously, you can ricochet off turrets, so when you use W, you can pull turret aggro if you accidentally ricochet to a enemy like you did right there. So the one thing about Sivir is she's really, really good, but you need to be able to reactionary spell shield. If you can't reactionary spell shield, she becomes so much worse in lane. Like against champion, Sivir's a great counter to Lucian, a great counter to Graves, but she's not a counter if you can't block any of their spells. If you can't block their spells, she's not a counter at all.
Right.
So really, really focus on just being able to reactionary spells with her E.
Okay.
Like with Azereth, his is pretty telegraphed. Like honestly, he's charging it up, and you know when it's gonna come out. So it shouldn't be really with Xerath. It shouldn't be that hard to. You need to heal him. Oh, you got lucky.
No.
Yeah. So that should have never happened. You guys just aren't pressuring in a 2v1 enough. It's okay if you guys push really hard, but you're not pushing hard enough. Like, he's not consistently under tower. Like, the wave is always frozen, like, right here, where he's, like, safely doing stuff.
Okay. I think this is where we swap and we go top.
Yeah, I probably...
Pointed out was a bad idea.
Yeah, I probably want to swap, just because, Draven Jan is technically a stronger lane than you guys.
Yeah.
Like, they'll beat you. So I have no real clue why they swapped in the first place. Like, maybe they had it planned out, but Draven Jan is a stronger lane. And you guys did have free dragon control.
Right. Yeah, I soon realized that I can't trade with him. Excuse me.
Yeah, you're good. Okay. Yeah, so Draven Janus is super strong in the fact that Draven has high base values, and then Janus' shield allows him to get free and easy trades off with you. The way you beat it is you have to be able to spell shield Janus' knockup. Otherwise, Draven will just go off on you. And when you trade, you have to trade with the auto attack reset and Q, then kind of play your range. You can't just go full face on him. He'll win a full face trade every time. Yeah, but the only problem with doing those type of trades is you have to come back with mana pots. Which you did. I think you even overpotted.
I think I overpot a lot, to be honest with you.
A good pot ratio is 2-2-1. I usually come back 2 health pots, 1 mana pot, and it's because I know how to do, like, you're throwing out Q really often, and Q is like a huge mana chug for Sivir. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of burning through your mana for no real great reason, because you've missed a lot of your Qs. So you just need to learn, like, mana conservation, which just takes time on a champion and getting the feel of how much mana she uses. That's why a lot of AD carries will use, like, 4 mana regen blues and stuff.
To kind of offset some of the...
Yeah, just because it allows them to spam just a just a little bit harder.
Is that like the equivalent of a pot, basically?
So you can't spell shield Draven Axes. I don't know if you knew that.
I think I figured that out. Because they're not a spell, right? They're an on-hit.
Yeah, it's not attack. What is up, Noya? God, every time. Poulette, I'm gonna go with Poulette. Noale au Poulette. I can't do it. Yeah, so you've burned through your mana right now, and since you have no mana, it means you have no way of winning any trades. it all right in farming. For you could have done a lot better considering it was a 1v2. A good farming point at like 10 minutes is 80 CS, and that's if you're like in lane and harassing and doing everything. But 60s, it's alright. It's alright. I mean, you wanna aim higher.
Right.
Like sometimes if you're like fighting a lot, you'll be at like 60 CS. That means like fighting tons of times, but most of the times look for 80 CS at 10 minutes. Around there, like 75, 80-ish. I think perfect CS at 10 minutes is like 114, and that's if you're farming directly from Nexus. In lane, it's like 104 or something.
So 80 is
80 is like a good mark. Like it means you're not doing bad. Because I mean, it's really difficult to get more than 80 if you're in lane and you're doing stuff, and it's not just like a boring freeze lane. Okay, so if you had enough mana there, obviously that would have gone a lot better for you guys.
right. And right here, I kind of knew that there was a dive coming, so I tried to. I just let him have it. I couldn't.
Honestly, I probably would have started hitting Draven. Because he doesn't do that much damage right now. All he has is a Vamp Scepter. And he's tanking turret right now. So he's going to have to, since A, you can spell shield, this is what I would have done, right? So Lee Sin goes in, for the dive. As soon as
didn't even see he was taking it.
As soon as he hits you, he's tanking tower, right? So then he goes this way, the complete wrong direction. Had you thrown Q this way and done kind of like a back and forth shuffle, he'll be tanking turret for even further. Because to run out, he's going to take at least 3 shots at this point, like to be running out. He still has flash, so he can't get away at that point. Now he's super, super under turret. And since you do have spell shield, you can easily spell shield that. So you don't have to worry about that. And he has to blow heal. Had you put like pretty much any damage on him, I think he would have had to blow flash to survive. If not, he'd be dead. But you did get a kill on Lee Sin, which is fine. There's nothing to take away from that. You guys got a kill. But that's just situational, like in the moment to be looking at. Notice who has tower aggro, stuff like that.
Right.
And also looking at their builds too.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Poulette, that's great. I'm doing alright. Just doing a given a lesson, stuff like that. Maybe I'll play ranked after this lesson. I don't know. I'm not really feeling League these past couple days. Been getting me down. Playing like utter shit in my games. Pretty much any game I've played lately. I've been playing like shit in CSGO, in League. Just been playing real badly all around. It's not been good. Alright, so this is also another reason why swapping top was bad, is since you were weaker in the lane, they took turret first. If I was the enemy, I would have swapped Janna and Draven bottom, because then I would have had Dragon priority, and also they could have gotten another turret. And turrets kind of can snowball games really hard because they give what is it, around 1,000 gold globally every time you take down a turret. So what they should have done is swap to bottom and then either taken this turret or focus a dragon. But they don't. They stay in lane. So now you guys at 110% can't even focus on like fighting them. Not even with a Warwick gank. You guys would lose in a Warwick gank. Because
I actually like what I do here is after watching that video, like your advice was like if they ever take an early turret, just to like push like constantly. That's what I try to do. Like I just try to clear waves like just constantly.
Yeah, that's good. It's good, and it's also
It might be out of context here, but
well, it's fine because they're staying in lane, so you guys are getting dragon, which is great. But in that video context, I was talking about them rotating somewhere else to get a turret. So like,
okay.
But mid turret's already down, so they can't like really go mid effectively. They could and should have gone bottom, like I said, to get another turret and dragon control. So pushing would have been fine in that area, but it would also been bad because you would have given up a dragon and a tower and traded only maybe a tower back if no one teleported or came up here. This is all just bad because of the lane swap. In ranked, you will realistically never see this. But I'm just telling you right now that most of the times lane swapping as the bot lane is not the better choice because of just dragon control. The reason why professionals swap in lane swap in pro games is because their top lane will be playing a hyper carry top laner who needs farm, such as like Hecarim or Yasuo or Tryndamere. Top laners that look to like 1v1 and just like farm up and destroy the mid game. That's why they lane swap, just to deny their top laner.
Okay.
But it's not really important in solo queue. So this game's not terrible. It's still not out of your guys' hands. You guys do have the better team fight comp. So as long as you just like don't give any more kills and then are able to group at around 20 minutes, you guys should be fine. Alright, so you should probably be down here, even though they're a little out, be at least farming right here. So you can at least run down here to help them. So if you're going to sit here and farm, at least farm like in this corner.
Okay.
Because it is a 4v3. You guys saw Lee Sin bottom because Jace died to him. So you guys could win this. Especially if Warwick gets it all. Warwick still isn't ulted. You guys shouldn't be running from this. You'd win.
Yeah, once the Draven showed up, I kind of...
Yeah. You guys would win that just because it's a 4v3. And Warwick still had all... Janna's out of mana. Like, Graves is kind of strong, but I still think you guys would win that. Warwick's pretty strong with his ult, too. And once Janna used ultimate, they have no more peel. But, I mean, it's whatever. You guys scale better, so it's not, like, super important that you guys fought right there or didn't fight. Just in that situation, I would have seen it's a 4v3 and probably gone for the fight. because that's honestly how teams in silver and gold and bronze throw their leads. They'll fight like 5v4, 5v3, outnumbered fights, even though they're ahead. But they'll get grouped on and lose because the other team groups before they group.
Yeah, it's still taking some getting used to because I'm used to being I'm used to top lane, so I'm used to like being a tank and like being typically the one who initiates.
Yeah. So like right here is exactly what I just said. It's legitimately exactly what I was just talking about. Your team grouped first, they didn't. You guys won a 5v2. So right now I'd be pinging the shit out of mid turret. That's where you guys should be focusing. Alright, and just like that, you guys got 3 kills because you grouped on them and they didn't group. You need to be auto-attacking that. Yeah, you could have gotten at least 3 autos in there.
Where? To the turret?
Yeah. Because one thing I always ask people, like legitimately every person I give a lesson to, is I always ask them, and this is not rhetorical, how do you win a game of League?
Kill the Nexus.
Yep. How do you get the Nexus? You kill the turrets, kill the you kill the inhibitors, kill the turrets, so on and so forth. So, if you're not objectively trying to focus on killing the Nexus, and to get to the Nexus you need to kill turrets. If every move you do is not to kill a turret to get to the Nexus, then you're not trying to win the game proactively. So like when you get a kill, think, how can I stack something on top of this kill? Like, can I get a turret off of this kill? Can I get a dragon off of this kill? Can I get a baron off of these kills? So on and so forth. Like, there's so many situations when I watch people's VODs where they get a kill, and then they just don't do anything. They, like, get a kill and go back to base. And basically doing that is letting the other team stall the game and you guys not snowballing. Yeah, so right here in this situation.
I have a problem, like, with some people in like, they... I don't know. I have no problem with like surrendering a game, like unless it's a ranked and like unless I have something on the line. Like if it's a normal, can hold out a hand, and you know I'm just like, yeah, I'd rather not waste the 15 to 20 minutes it's gonna take to see if the other team is gonna throw or not. Like it's not for that big deal to me. But like I see like on my side, I see a lot of people like not surrender because like we get a couple kills, and I tell them, like, yeah, we're getting these kills, but the problem is that we're so far behind, we can't do anything after we kill them. So it's pointless. Like, hey, we killed our team, and we're stuck. We can't do anything with it. So, I mean, like, how many times are they really going to miss the map and allow us to kill them all? Like, I mean, sure, they're not going to do it every time.
I mean, that's... I don't usually ever surrender unless I know it's 100% over, because of the fact that if you're down and you're getting kills, that means the enemy team's stalling the game. Like, if you're down and getting kills, as long as the enemy team isn't taking your towers, you're still in that game because the enemy's stalling the game. So if you're getting kills when you're down, it still means you're in the game.
I mean, like, when, like, objectively, like, not, like, kills behind, but, like, objectively, we're super behind. Like, they have, like, 4 or 5 of our turrets to their 1. Like, those kinds of situations, like, I mean, kills are just gold. I mean, you know, I mean,
yeah, but what I'm talking about is even if they have every single one of your turrets except for these 3 ring-up turrets, if they're not proactively taking them because you guys have too much wave clear or something of the sort, even if you guys are down 0 turrets to all turrets, if they're not taking this, it means the game's not. It means they're not winning yet. So like,
right.
what I'm saying here is, just don't. You can surrender, But you have to understand that I've had so many games to where I just know our team comp is better than theirs, and all our team comp needs is like a good engage or something. And that yes may be like lurking on them to make a mistake, but people make mistakes all the fucking time when they get ahead. Like
Right.
there's so many games where I've either won a game when we were behind or lost a game because we've dicked around and like given away free kills. Like we've gone in and fought a 5v5 and like traded 2 for 4 or something. Or trading kills when you're up is usually never good because there's no point to trade kills when you're ahead. Unless it leads to like towers and obviously stuff like that. But if you're just team fighting the team fight when you're ahead, all you're doing is giving the enemy team gold. And you're getting less gold because they don't have any killing sprees and they're already worth less.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's like wanting to not surrender is never like a bad thing, but there are those few games where it's just like it's 30-1 and there's no goddamn way you guys are gonna win. But obviously, like in this game, their team comp blows late game compared to your team comp, who actually is pretty good. So this game, even if you guys were down like 20 to 10, 25, 20 to like 8, I'd still be okay with playing this game out because their team comp blows. Like all it would take for your team comp to win versus their team comp is to pick off any one of these 3. And Graves is probably the easiest to pick off because he has no flash.
I try so hard to get them to group, like later. Like it very should like this game very well should have been over at like 35-40 minutes.
Okay, well you need to back here. You have no mana. You guys took dragon, so you know dragon's coming up. So you should have been calling this dragon. You should have been saying dragon 1 minute, like a minute ago. You haven't backed it. You still have no mana, so you guys can't fight this dragon. There's no reason you guys should have lost this dragon either. Because if you guys know when dragon's coming up, you should always be prepped for it.
I don't think we knew when it was coming up. I don't think anybody timed the first one.
I mean, you killed it, so you know when it's coming up.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, they killed it. I wasn't there, so I forgot.
Yeah, all you have to do is hit tab.
This is really bad. Okay, that's where Warwick went.
Shut down.
If only I had mana.
Alright, so you guys... Okay, wait, you would flash up. Alright, so as soon as I spell shield this, I would have ulted. Instead of using another spell. Because movement speed's more valuable. And you have flash up, so this stun should never hit you. Like, you should be flashing this stun. Flash right there, you're good, and he's dead. Well, not dead because he has heal. But, you should never be in a position here to die. Because you had flash there.
Okay.
Alright, so they took They took Dragon. There's no real good objectives on the map, so right now I'd just be looking this farm, and I'd come down here when you could pop up alive. There's nothing really you guys can do to force a fight. Like, your team is based around fighting around dragons and kind of in their jungle-ish. So what needs to happen is this tower needs to go down, A. Jace needs to be focusing that. You should clean up this wave pretty easily and then push out the next wave too. And then I'd probably... Okay, so you can only clean up this wave and then you need to go mid lane. Because Sivir Lux have really good wave clear. Like, you guys should never lose a turret that do not have Baron minions. If they have Baron minions, it obviously becomes harder to wave clear.
Right.
Alright, so as soon as you see all of them top lane, you know pretty much every single one of this top lane. There's no way you're getting up here to save him. In my mind, I'd be pushing down for this turret to be putting pressure on it. And as soon as you see someone around mid, I'd just back off. But if they're all 5 top, you may just get like a free turret mid. Or at least free pressure. You'd see Xerath come down here. And you'd actually, if he showed, you'd probably be able to kill him, honestly, with your ult and you have flash. But that's what I would have done. Seeing 4 top lane and you being mid, I would have just put pressure down on mid turret. Because let's say they didn't back here and they decided they wanted to hard push here. You running up here is not going to do anything.
Right.
Like, they would be more afraid of you taking a mid turret, because taking a mid inner turret is much more effective than taking these 2 outer turrets. Like, for the most part, these 2 outer turrets on both sides of the map are useless, honestly. Like, they're taken very easily late game and don't like put a big impact on the game, as opposed to where if you take this turret, it opens up if you take this turret, it opens up the ability to get into here ward, to ward over here, just to get deeper map control and wardage. That's why mid turret's probably one of the more important turrets to make sure you don't have down, especially this one and this one. So if like you have the option between farming this and saving the turret, save the turret. Alright, so guys' bot lane's pushing for you. Once Jace is up, let's see, how much gold do you have? Back on 1,000, you'll probably buy boots here. I probably would have bought a pickaxe, maybe. I don't know. Let's see, how do you buy? Boots, that's fine. You could have bought boots or a pickaxe into Last Whisper. Last Whisper is always effective even if they're not building armor. It does, you do more damage no matter what with Last Whisper because they have base armor values. Like they already have 64 armor, which cuts it by, what is it, 47% I think with 64 armor? It's something like that, 37%? I don't know, I can't remember. But getting Last Whisper, even if they're not building armor, will always increase your damage more than getting like more crit or something.
Right. I think I'd go for a Bloodthirster next.
I think that's fine in this situation because they're kind of a poke comp. But for the most part, Last Whisper is always the better option. But I think in this situation, Bloodthirster is fine considering they're literally a poke and kite comp.
I have no idea how I got that kill. Oh, that's not the one.
Alright, so let's look what you guys did wrong here. I don't think you guys should have lost this fight. or at least maybe you guys over chase. Maybe that was a problem. I think your backline, you and your backline were super out of position here. Okay. You walk up, take a crit, so I understand the running away. Alright, you run way too far away.
Well, I was afraid of Xerath.
Yeah, you're still like a mile away. So this was both a factor of you three have really terrible positioning, and they're over chasing while you three have terrible positioning. So it's kind of just everyone's not recognizing where people are.
Mm-hmm.
These two should have backed off as soon as they recognized you guys have bad positioning, and you guys should have recognized you have bad positioning and been up here. But as soon as that happens, this needs to be backed off, because now you guys are just going to get kited, because that's what their team is, a kite comp. You guys get poked out, and you died.
That Lux auto trading with Draven.
Red team's turret has been destroyed. Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Okay. Let's see. If I was your team, I would have kept chasing them, like, all the way down here to try to chase them out. And then I would have maybe done Baron, or at least forced a Baron here and forced them to fight. Because your ults, I would not have done that.
Yeah. Thought I was gonna have to back up for that, and then I didn't, and I was screwed.
Thing is, you probably could have actually gotten the kill on Draven. You shouldn't have flashed. Yet. You should have first spell shielded his Q, right? And then flashed after to dodge his ultimate.
Wait, I can't. I thought I can't. Can I spell shield his Q?
Graves' Q.
Oh, Graves. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Your flash didn't even dodge Graves' Q. All you did was flash this way, and he still hit it with you. So you probably could have killed Draven. You definitely would have died to Graves after that. But I still wouldn't have done that. That Draven's 7-1. There's no way you're gonna 1v1 him. Your team was too far behind anyways to help you.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Alright, so you don't really need to come bot here. This wave is already pushing towards the enemy. So if you just let it push by itself, it's going to eventually mass up into a big wave where it's going to force them to either respond to it or probably lose this turret for free. But now since you kind of are hard pushing it, it's not going to be as big as a wave when it reaches this turret, and it may or may not kill this turret.
I think I was just trying to farm. I think
Yeah.
that's...
It's understandable that sometimes you want minion pressure Alright, so you guys don't know that Xerath is AFK, but again, you should know when Dragon's going down because you hear it when it dies, no matter what. Like, for some reason you hear when Dragon dies, so you guys should be timing Dragon. It's 6 minutes when it dies, so whenever the Dragon dies, just hit D in the chat, and then 6 minutes after you type D. Because your guys' team composition is designed around fighting around these objectives. And if you guys don't like fight around these objectives, you're just letting their team group and get turrets and stuff on you guys.
Okay.
So, because you guys aren't that great at sieging, like Jace's attack range is shitty, Sivir's attack range is shitty, and then you have like 2 melees and Lux. Your guys' siege is alright because you have 2 poke champions. So if you poke them out, you can maybe hit tower, but they have Xerath who can wave clear extremely easily. So your guys' siege, for the most part, is not going to work, like, ever. So you need to be more focused on dragons, like, and be more diligent about timing them, and more diligent about timing flashes, too, when people flash. It's a 5-minute cooldown, so anytime you see someone flash, just be like, Draven, flash 34 minutes, whatever, whenever he flashes.
Right.
That helps with laning phase too. Like if your opponent ever flashes, letting your jungler know bot lane has no summoners or where bot lane is warded or something helps a lot with getting ganks. Like a jungler will be more like wanting to gank a lane knowing that they have no summoners and knowing where the wards are. So like anytime you see someone put down a ward, like just say ward right there and time it. Like usually the ward they put down is 3-minute ward unless it's their trinket ward. Obviously then it's a 1-minute ward.
A summoner has reconnected.
Am I the only one with an upgraded trinket?
Yeah. It's whatever, it's not that big of a deal. You should just ask your Warwick to switch to red trinket, but it's not a huge deal. The enemy's not warding that effectively anyways, so it's not like a huge deal. And you guys aren't focusing dragons anyways, so because red trinkets don't really matter because you guys aren't focusing objectives. Yeah, you didn't need to ult there, you panicked. Okay, you guys got a kill. Nice. Double. Triple. So close. Alright, Baron. What you need to be doing right now is now that you see you have 3 kills and you have 4 very healthy opponents, you need to be pinging Baron. This is almost a free Baron right here. Xerath can poke you guys, but not like effectively. This is almost a free Baron for you guys. That's something you need to just like recognize. Anytime it's around late game or mid game, if you guys get 3-4 kills on them, and your team is rather healthy, just ping the shit out of Baron. Like just go Baron, 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 Baron. Because that will just allow you to snowball the game into a win. Someone does it?
That's me. I'm pretty sure.
You only ping it once though? I'd be doing the help ping, the G downwards, whatever the G assist me ping. I'd be going assist. Legitimately, as soon as like a death happens.
Yeah. Yeah, so right here, like if you notice, like Lee Sin's been AFK for a little bit now, right? And so like right after this, like this is where I try to get people to start grouping up. And like, I don't know. It's kind of weird, like it's kind of weird how I see like what happens after like a post Baron fight, like when no one groups up and no one pushes. It's like, you know, it's kind of the only reason we did Baron is for the free gold, and you know the buff to the waves just go completely unutilized because everybody just splits up and farms.
Well, you have two things you need to deal with first before you guys group. You need to deal with top lane. You need to deal with bot lane. Those are both pushing against you. So those need to be dealt with first, and then you guys can group mid or bot because there's still two turrets sitting up here.
I think at this point, like around here, like either here, like in the next like 5 or 6 minutes, like I realize, like it finally dawns on me that like I haven't seen Lee Sin in a kind of a while, and so, and this is where the game kind of starts to spiral out of control, and it just becomes like this constant back and forth because like it's 4v5, and never do we once group up as a 4-man team and let one split push. Like never does that happen. You know, we just like constantly run around like chase kills, like push this, do that, like, and then I mean, I might be wrong, but in my mind, like the right thing to do was to have do a 4-and-1 push, and force them to either focus, you know, because they're outnumbered. So no matter what they do, they're going to be outnumbered. Like they're either going to have to let, you know, Jace push down with no pressure whatsoever, or they're going to have to send one person to go deal with them, and then it becomes a 4v3.
No. You guys are strongest in team fights, not split pushing. Like,
Right, but even though it's a 4v5 right now,
even though it's a 4v5. Like right now, you guys just destroyed them in team fight. I don't know what you're talking about. You guys just grouped and destroyed them. You should get an inhibitor right here, honestly, if you guys stay. There's no reason for you guys to back.
A summoner has reconnected.
You should be pinging, not just typing. But you guys should get a free inhibitor right here. Should get a free kill on that guy. You should have been moving towards that guy as soon as he got caught. Draven should be dead. There's no reason to be afraid right here.
A summoner has disconnected.
Alright, you got the inhibitor back. You guys need to deal with this wave. This wave's pushing for you now, I think. Yeah, it's pushing for you now. So you guys need to back and deal with this wave. You guys should have heard Dragon die, so you should know that this is coming up soon. I would not be going down here. The reason why is because you guys are ungrouped right now, so you hard pushing this in, all it's going to do is next time you guys group, this wave will eventually, is going to hit this before you guys get your like group timing down. It's going to hit this tower and eventually be pushing back towards you. So all it's doing is resetting the wave for the enemy. So like if you guys decide you want to group top for some reason, they will have time to push this wave back out.
so really like towards 30 minutes, like I shouldn't be trying, like I should be trying to farm like exclusively like in the jungle.
No, I mean
And-
you can farm like that, but you have to think objectively. Like first off, you guys just lost another dragon, even though you guys should know when it's coming up. You just have to think, where am I going next after this farm? Like, am I gonna farm this, and then is my team like ready to go just immediately bottom? Like technically, you guys could run bottom right now if you weren't sitting in base for some reason.
I was typing or something, I don't remember.
Yeah, you don't have to type. Like legitimately, you don't have to type. All you have to do is use pings. Like when I play on Smurfs in silver, I don't even think I played on silver. I played Smurfs in gold or something. All I have to do is use pings. People understand when you do an assist me ping. Like the only time people don't understand when you do your pings and people complain that teams never group is because you're doing it in a dickish way and you're also not doing it correctly. So like people don't follow dicks. Like people follow leaders who are confident and know what they're doing.
So like what do you mean like ping wrong? Because like that happens a lot. Like they'll be pinging and I'm like, I don't know what you're pinging. Like I don't.
Just like
I don't understand.
just do hit G and then do. It doesn't work in spectator mode. But if you hit G,
No. Like I know how to ping. Like I'm saying, like sometimes like, they'll ping me or they'll like my team will like put ping somewhere, but I don't know like what they're trying to accomplish by pinging like me or pinging there. Like it just, you know, like when there's 4 of them in just me and they want me to like go try to save a turret, like I don't know, like I don't know why they're pinging me to try to save the turret. Like they should know, like I can't 4v1. Like
I don't know. It'd have to be situation. I don't understand what you're saying. Usually, how I get it to do it, when I want people to group, I just assist ping a fuck ton on a turret, or I just ping a fuck ton on a turret while everyone's just like chilling. And then if they still don't understand, I go free tower bot lane or group or something.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
So you guys have no more Baron. Xerath can go back to clearing waves extremely easily. It's going to be for the next couple minutes before Baron comes back up. It's going to be really difficult for you guys to force anything, realistically. If you were actually grouped with your team, you guys could be getting kills right now. Even though being grouped middle is not the better choice, but it's like you'd rather have 5 people following a retarded call than 2 people following the better call and 3 people following the bad call.
right.
Blue team triple kill. Blue team quadra kill. Ace.
Because remember, the only reason people play Sivir is for her ultimate. So if you're not grouped and using your ultimate, play like Vayne if you want to split push or Tristana. Even though, yes, it was better for you to be down here. Like, conglomerate, if all 5 of you were grouped here, that's better. But you should have just, like, pushed up and then been in a situation to where, like, you could have been
Red team's
roaming in between this area, walking back and forth, ready
Right.
to pop your ult.
So
But-
even if my team doesn't listen or doesn't do the right things, like I should still like back them up, nonetheless. Like
Well, like-
that's
Let's go back to...
because what I was trying to do is like I was trying to get them to like
I understand. I
calm
understand
down
what you're
and-
trying to do. You were doing what was technically correct. You guys should be focused on turrets and like sieging, even though your guys' siege is bad, so you can't really do anything for the next couple minutes. But where you should have been is you should have been pushing waves, but then also been either, if you're really afraid from getting caught out from poke, like because you just can't dodge it, you could have been over here. This would have been the longer way, but I would have just been pushing the wave and then roaming in between waves. Like anytime a wave is about to come out, come down here, clear it, then come back middle.
Wait a second. Can you scroll? Can you? Okay. I'm sorry. Like it showed, like on
Yeah,
my screen
yeah.
on the minimap, it shows that turret's up.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyways, because you'll see that this wave should be gone and you should be farming it like right here. And you'll see because your team legitimately almost gets 2-3 kills here. With a Sivir ult, they would easily been able to follow this ult up. Like there would be 2 kills right there with your ultimate. Jace has to flash for it. You still don't have ultimate going. Graves like shouldn't be alive right now. He should be automatically dead. But for the most part, you were relatively useless in those kills. Like you didn't do anything. So positioning wise, I would have just be in a position to where you can be next to your team with your ultimate.
Blue team triple kill.
Okay.
Quadra kill.
There's a thing I like to call gold syndrome, and it's that the people who get to gold understand that grouping is the way to win. Like usually in silver, the team that wins first is the team that groups first. Because like I said earlier, you group and you'll usually 5v4 the enemy or 5v3 because someone else in the enemy team won't group. So the thing gold syndrome is they'll group mid and they'll get the inhibitor, but they won't understand that there's other lanes than mid because all they know is grouping and fighting and winning. So they'll just regroup down middle and try to fight again, even though there are other turrets they can be taking. But all they know is grouping and fighting because that's how you get to gold, honestly. You just group and fight. So you want to be thinking about grouping. but trying to get your team to focus objectively. Like, you guys can't take these turrets realistically if you guys are group sieging, because Xerath without Baron can just one-shot the wave. Like, there's no way you guys can siege effectively unless Lux, like, hits a binding, then Jace hits a QE, then, like, you guys get good poke down. So your guys' siege is good in the fact that you poke, but it's bad in the it's bad in the fact that you guys can't, like, hit the turret effectively.
Right.
But that's what Gold Syndrome is. And your team just did Gold Syndrome. They grouped down mid and focused nothing. Like I was saying earlier, getting those kills for the most part meant nothing. You guys did get a turret, which is great. But getting those kills almost meant nothing because you didn't get almost nothing. But that's why, like, gold silver games will always last like 40 plus minutes because they just group middle and fight and don't focus objectives.
I hate it so much.
But I mean, it's honestly not hard to get your team to follow what you want to do. Like, when I've played on Smurfs and stuff, people always complain my team never groups or something, but I'm sitting there going, I've never had a problem in silver or gold where my team will not group. Like, I've had problems in diamond where, like, people won't group, and it's because they have, like, a split push mindset, or they're playing like awkwardly weird, but it's because of their own mindset. But and when I've played on Smurf and Silver, I've never had a problem where the team just refuses to group. I've at least been able to get all 4 of them or 3 of them to group, including me. Anyways, all right. So Baron, here's the correct choice for you guys. You should have probably grabbed a pink. You should have sold your Doran's Blade, grabbed a pink, because you guys knew you wanted Baron as your next objective, and honestly, that Doran's Blade isn't effective. Also, I didn't even notice this. You needed Last Whisper. That extra crit's not super effective. You needed Last Whisper. So I would have gone Last Whisper over whatever item you went after Bloodthirster.
Phantom Dancer.
Yeah, should have gotten Last Whisper.
Okay.
Because Xerath has armor in Hourglass, and then Draven's getting armor, and Janna has Frozen Heart. Lee Sin's getting tanky-ish. But overall, Last Whisper, even if they don't have armor, increases your base damage. Alright, so now that you guys have Baron, you need to be focusing on mid inhibitor, first off. That's what you guys need to focus. This wave's pushing against you. It's not that big of a deal as long as you guys can, like... Okay, right now is actually what your team is designed to do to win. You should 100% win this fight. Like, as soon as you come around this corner, I'd probably ult. Like, I would just ult right now as Sivir. I'd ult. Graves has no flash. If you ulted right now, that's a dead Graves. Or at least Janna blows ult to get him away. Like, you should have ulted 110%.
Okay.
And since you ult late, you guys just get kited. You guys should be rotating mid to get the inhibitors. There's no reason to try to fight this turret. There's 2 open inhibitors you guys should have been going for. Anyways, alright, when you guys come back up, someone needs to deal with this wave. Someone has to deal with this wave too. It's gonna push against you eventually. Yeah. So Jace is going to deal with this wave. You guys lost another dragon, but that's because you're dead. There's no realistic way you guys could have gotten that dragon. So now, after Jace deals with this wave, first off, I would have told my team, I'd have been like, Jace, go deal top. He dealt top. Then I'd have been like, alright, Warwick's dealing with bottom. Even though he's super slow with no wave clear. After he deals with bot, he deals with top, you should just be grouped mid. You should be assist pinging mid. and just like sitting here and waiting for your team to be grouped onto you.
Okay.
So Jace comes back, Warwick comes back, and you guys are coming into it. Alright, it's exactly what you guys should have done. Jace has got some pretty big poke. Alt. If you alt right now, he's dead. Warwick has alt. He's dead if you alt right now. You just need to be able to recognize when people are out of position as Sivir.
Man, I did not use my ult a lot.
Yeah, especially since their team has Xerath who's super pokey. If you're not capitalizing on them then being out of position, then you're just gonna get poked. Even though your team has good poke too, it's not as nearly as good as Xerath.
Yeah.
You shouldn't
I
have
think
been
that's
top
what-
here. You're just giving up your the pressure you guys had by going top. Also, it may allow them to engage on your team. There's no reason to split in a 5v4 if your team comp is better than theirs, because splitting in a 5v4 just allows the enemy to fight a 3v4 or a 4v4 at best. Right? Like, why split up your numbers when you can just outnumber the opponent?
Right.
You're gonna die to this guy. Yeah. Yeah, so you went top. Your team traded, and Draven will probably get more kills here. No, okay. Yeah, so I don't know what you're talking about, man. You were complaining that your team didn't group, and all I've been seeing is you not grouping. Your team's been trying to group. Maybe they don't.
Well, I guess they weren't grouping on me. I guess that was.
Well, you should have been middle. Because there's no reason to go here. There's two open inhibitors that you guys can try to take. Once these are taken, then you can go here. You need to be waiting for your team. Like, Jace is on his way. Okay. You blew Janna ult. That's a massive passive down, or ult down. Like, Janna's how they disengage. Yeah, you panic ulted there. Yeah, you panic ulted. And now your team has to wait for your ult to come back up. Man, that Warwick went ham.
Yeah.
He saved that fight for you guys.
This part right here is what I don't understand. Like, I don't know why he's afraid of Janna. I don't understand that.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily need to be afraid of her. But I mean, it's whatever. Alright. This is the perfect position for you guys to do Baron. Even though they're on 5th Dragon, so they're probably going to get 5th Dragon here. Unless you guys fight him. Warwick blew his ulti. That's not good. Why is Lux... Oh. You guys need to back out. Warwick doesn't have his ultimate for another, like, couple seconds. Wow, you misclicked real hard there. You definitely didn't need to be in melee range.
No, I know. It's habit. Which is not a particularly good habit for an AD carry. But I'm so used to, like, I mean, I'm just so used to not being ranged, really. So,
Yeah, I don't know why you guys keep coming top lane. Like, there's 2 open inhibitors. All this is doing is letting them fight under a turret. Like, it looks like
honestly, they're probably following my lead, and since I don't, like, I don't know what I'm doing, like, I don't know what the right decision is, it's just kind of like a series of me guessing. And sometimes I guess right, sometimes I don't. So,
yeah. If there's ever an open inhibitor, and there's no like just turrets like standing over here, like just like free turrets that you guys could get, the inhibitor needs to go down first. Because once the inhibitor's down, that's just a lane of free pressure to where you can like slow siege and just wait for that lane to push its way in, and then they'll have to send someone to deal with it. So then you like pressure down onto them. But if there's ever an inhibitor open and there's no free turrets on the map, meaning like there's no just like turrets sitting up here or sitting up here, then just take the inhibitor first. And make sure the lanes, like the lane, you have good lane wave control right now, except for this one just hit tower, so it's pushing back towards you guys. Okay, Jace got poked out, you guys got it back. I'd be focusing Dragon. Like, not Dragon, Baron. Once Jace heals, once those 2, wow, you didn't need flash there. That was a panic flash.
yeah, those happen quite a bit.
Alright, so you guys finally focus an objective and fight around an objective, and you guys win. Because that is what your team comp is designed to do, is to fight around Barons and Dragons, and then you just hit ult and you run at them. It's not designed to fight under turrets and, like, siege, which is why you guys have been having such a hard time, because you've been sieging and Xerath has just been poking you guys. So you guys finally win when you do what your team comp is designed to do.
Right.
So that's kind of the importance of like looking at win conditions, like figuring out what your team is good at.
Yeah, it's not something that's not like an exercise I'm familiar with. I'm gonna have to start focusing on that.
Mm-hmm. The easiest way to do that is just look at your team's ultimates. Like, look how much CC you have, and just look how team-centric you guys' ultimates are.
Right.
Like, if you guys have Malphite Yasuo, obviously your team counts Wombo combo.
Yeah.
But, yeah, stuff like that. And just see, like, how much wave clear you guys have. So if you have Ziggs or Xerath, those are very high wave clear champions. Stuff like that just helps you figure out your guys' team composition, what's good and what it's bad at.
Got you.
Anyways, let's see. Well, since your game went a little bit over, we don't really have time to do another one, because it's 12.
Yeah, honestly, I'll probably sign up for another. Like, are all your times pretty much good?
Yeah, all my times are pretty much good. And don't be alarmed by it now says $5 an hour lesson. Because I switched it to where. Just don't be alarmed, because you got in before I switched my lesson payment. So you'll just be grandfathered in to still get free lessons.
Awesome. Because I mean, I'd really like to do another one. I think it would help. I mean, especially just seeing like how all like the little small things that like I did caused that game to go like a lot longer than what it needed to.
Yeah.
Which was the one thing that really frustrated me was like it was going like so long, you know.
Mm. One of the best things you do is watch your own replays. Like honestly, if you can get to a point where you can point out your own mistakes in ranked, it will become a lot easier for you to see your mistakes in game. Like it's difficult. It's really easy to watch your own game and see what you're doing wrong. Like it's not hard because you're just sitting there watching. But it's much harder to be in game playing the game at the same time trying to figure out what you're doing right and wrong.
Right on. Um, and I had one final thing on Callista. Um, I'm trying to figure out like the best way to do like I was watching like some of the pro like video like streams and videos and I noticed like they don't really use I don't see them using attack move click. Like I see them like just doing it like, you know, right click for the attack and then like right click somewhere else for the
Yeah,
movement command.
the reason they do that is because attack move can make you not auto attack the thing you want to auto attack in Kalista. Like, imagine if you
Okay.
have a Mundo running at you and an Echo running at you, right? So if you're using attack move, you may be hitting the Mundo because he's the closest towards you, as opposed to where if you're using clicking, you're more accurate and you could choose to attack the Echo, who it would be priority targeting right there because obviously you want to kill the person who can one shot you first. So they do that
Uh,
just so they're more accurate on who they are attacking. Like attack moving is okay in certain situations, but like I said, in that situation, if you have two people running at you and you want to focus one of them over the other, if you're attack moving, it's going to focus whomever is closest to you.
right on. Good deal.
Yep. Okay. So, any specific questions?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Alrighty then. I guess we are done. All right.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, sign up for another lesson probably in like a day or two. Probably 2 days just to kind of give some time to maybe get like a decent game.
All right. No problem. Just let me know.
All right, man. We'll do. Appreciate it.
All right. Later.
Doubles!
Just visiting!
Did you already mortgage something?
Alrighty, guys.
No,
let's
Gom did.
see. Skip.
What the hell? Okay. Alright, so I think I'm done streaming for now. Thanks for coming by, anybody who came by, and thanks for hitting that follow button and checking my YouTube channel down below and all that good stuff. So, have a good one, guys.